Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Welcome in recitation correction for Surah Al-Baqarah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألف لام ميم. So these are individual letters. It's not a word, okay? So what is the rule here? You have here a sort of extension called obligated extension. You can say it's al-Madd Lazim. So let's have these letters written as words to explain it. Okay, so I will rewrite these letters as words now. So this is Alif Lam Meem. I will write it like this. This is Alif, okay? And after this Alif, we have Lam. In the middle, you will find this Alif. It's the extension letter, okay? And after it, we have Meme. So this is Meme, right? So this Meme has Kasra. Alif, Lam, Meme, okay? So this Alif, it doesn't have any extension letter, okay? So there is no any extension in this Alif, okay? Take care of this. What about lam? This lam you will find in the middle of this word, this extension letter, which is alif, has the sign of extension above it. And this alif followed by a letter with sukoon. This lam, it's with a sukoon, okay? So the meaning of the obligated extension is to have any extension letter, however it was alif or ya or waw, and this extension letter followed by any letter with sukoon. So we have here this alif followed by this alif, it's an extension letter, and it's followed by this meme. It has original sukoon above it. So you have now obligated extension or Madd Lazim. So what will you do? This alif you will stretch it for 6 counts, okay? And this year you will stretch it for 6 counts. What about this meme? This meme, it's unvoweled meme, followed by another voweled meme with kasra. So what will you do? Once you have this figure, so you have here small identical, or a rule from what? This is small identical. So you will merge here this unvoweled meme with this voweled meme with kasra to become one meme with shadda. So this meme, it will be meme with shadda instead of this sukoon. So you will pronounce this meme with the longest duration for Ghunnah because it's become now meme with shadda. So it has the most complete Ghunnah. Let's pronounce it. Alif Lam Meme. Okay, so this is the pronunciation for this Alif Lam Meme. Let's continue. Dhalika. So you have here this the. This letter, it's an introdental letter. So what will you do? The tip of your tongue touch the two upper incisors like this. The. Okay, and this the followed by this small alif khinjariya. So this the it's gonna be stretched for 2 counts. Why? We have here natural extension, or you can say it's مد طبيعي. ذلك الكتاب. Move from kaf to lam and disconnected hamza. Once you have it in the middle of the words, you will drop it. Okay. So move from kaf to this lam qamariya or lunar lam, which has original sukoon above it. So you will pronounce it. ذلك الكتاب ta. So this ta, it's gonna be stretched for 2 counts also. Why? You have here مد طبيعي or natural extension. This alif khinjariya, it's an extension letter, right? So this ta, it's gonna be stretched for 2 counts. ذلك الكتاب. Boo. Round your lips here with this ba to get this dhamma, okay? La. So this la, we have here this alif. It's unvoweled alif. It's empty, doesn't carry anything above it, and the vowel before it, it's fatha. So this fatha, it's relatable for this alif, right? So what does it mean? This alif, you can consider it as extension letter. So what will you do? This lam, it's gonna be stretched for 2 counts. This means that you have here natural extension or مد طبيعي. Ra, this ra, vowed with fatha, so it's gonna be a heavy ra. Roi, roi. So the sound here for this ya, oi. So this sound, it's a specific for what? For the ya as lean letter. So this ya, you can have it once you have this ya with original sukoon above it and the vowel before it, it's fatha. Take care, this fatha, it's not relatable for this ya. So now this ya, it's lean letter, not extension letter. Okay? لا ريب فيه. Okay, في. So take care. I have here this yeah. This yeah, it's an extension letter. This yeah, it's empty, doesn't carry anything above it, and the vowel before it, it's kasra. So this kasra, it's relatable for this yeah. So in this case, this fa, it will be stretched for 2 counts. So you have here مد طبيعي or natural extension. So what is the difference between the ya for this ya, it's ya lean, this ya, and the ya as extension letter? You will find that the ya as ya lean, okay, it has original sukoon above it and the vowel before it, it's fatha. But this ya as extension letter, this ya, it's empty above it and the vowel before it, it's kasra. This kasra is relatable for this ya. So the sound for this ya as ya lean, it's I, like this. Roi, I. But this ya, the sound for it as ya extension letter, it will be like this. So you now know the difference between the ya as extension letter and the ya as lean letter, okay? لا ريب فيه هدى. So we have here this ha has dhamma above it, so you will round your lips here. Why? To get this dhamma. What about this tanween with fatha? If you want to stop reading here, okay? So you have here a sort of extension. It's called compensation extension. You have it once you have tanween with fatha at the end of the word, okay? So once you want to stop reading, so you will remove this tanween with fatha and you will pronounce instead of this tanween alif, stretch it for 2 counts, okay? So what does it mean? It means that you will stop with performing the compensation extension or مد العوض. So you can have this extension if you have tanween with fatha at the end of the word. And take care, you must stop reading to perform this sort of extension. So it's gonna be huda in case of stopping reading. What about continuing reading? So you will have this tanween followed by lam, right? So it's a rule from noon sakina and tanween. Once you have tanween and this figure of this tanween, it's a specific for merging or true hiding. So once you have this figure of this tanween followed by lam, this lam, it's one from what? It's one from yarmalun. The 6 letters for merging or idgham. So what will you do? There is no any sound for the noon sakina at the end of this tanween, right? There is no sound or ghunnah for the noon sakina at the end of the tanween. You destroyed all of the noon sakina at the end of this tanween. So you will give here this dal only one fatha and you will go quickly for this lam without any time. Okay, so it's gonna be like this. هدى للمتقين. هدى. So imagine this word as if it was written like this. هدى. Hudal, okay? Move from dal to lam quickly with giving this dal only one fatha, okay? هدى للمتقين. Take care. You have now shadda above this lam. Why? It's an evidence for this complete merging without ghunnah. There is no ghunnah here. Do you know why we don't have ghunnah here? Because you destroyed all of the noon sakina at the end of this tanween. So there is no sound or ghunnah for this noon. What about this lam? It's not a letter for ghunnah, right? That's why you will not have ghunnah here. What about this ya? This ya, once you have it empty ya and the vowel before it, it's fatha, so you can consider this ya, it's alif maqsura. So you will pronounce it like this, huda. So it's not ya. You will not pronounce it as ya. I know it's written as ya, but you will pronounce it alif. It's alif maqsura. You can have it. Once you have this empty ya and this empty ya, the vowel before it, it's fatha. Okay? للمتقين. This ta has shadda above it. So what will you do? You will pronounce here this shadda with a holded way. How? At first, hold the ta with sukun. Okay? Then you will connect this ta with sukun with the ta with fatha. Okay? To have this shadda very well. So it's gonna be للمتقين للمت للمتقين. And this qaf, it's one from the 7 heavy letters خص ضغط قض. And this qaf voweled with kasra. What does it mean? We have here the lowest level of heaviness for this qaf. Now I am at the end of the verse, so I will stop reading. So I will ask myself a question. Once I have any word in Quran and I want to stop reading on it, so I will ask myself a question. Do I have here any extension letter or lean letter before the last letter, which is nun? Yeah, I have here this yeah. This yeah, it's extension letter, right? It's empty above it and the vowel before it, it's kasra. So this kasra, it's relatable for this yeah. So in this case, I can now consider this yeah as what? Extension letter. So how can I stop reading here? I will stop with performing the temporary extension or المد العارض للسكون. So this year, it's going to be stretched for 2 or 4 or 6 counts. What about this noon? You will give it a temporary sukoon instead of this fatha. Why? Because Arabic language doesn't stop on a vowel. So that's why you will give it a temporary sukoon and take care this noon. With this sukoon, it's going to be from moderate letters, lan umar. In this case, you will give it a little bit time to make its voice more clear. I mean with this, it's زمن التوسط. Okay, so it's gonna be للمتقين. I stretched here this year for 4 counts and this noon I gave it temporary sukoon instead of this fatha. So let's talk now about these signs of stopping in Quran. Once you have these figures of these 3 dots, it's a sign of stopping in Quran. It tells you that you can't stop here on the first, or you can stop on the second, or never stop at all, or the only thing you can't do it is to stop on both of them. You can't do this. Okay, so let's have the first case. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. So I stopped here in the first case at the first one. Let's have the second. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه. Take care. I stretched here this yeah for 4 counts and this ha, I gave it a temporary sukoon instead of this kasra. Why? Because I have here this yeah, it's an extension letter coming before the last letter, which is ha. So that's why I whispered this ha. Okay? So I performed here the temporary extension or المد العارض للسكون in case of stopping breathing. Okay, so now I stopped on the second. Okay, the third case, ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. Never stop at all, but you can't stop on both. You can't do this. Take care of this. So let's have the recitation for these 2 verses again. ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. صدق الله العظيم. Thank you. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.